welcome to another prime time session. Inshallah, we will begin in a few minutes. In a couple minutes, I would like all of you to go call, text, remind your friends, family members to come and join us for this awesome session today. So go ahead, remind people that are not here in the room to come join us, and then we will start in a few minutes, inshallah. And Jazakallah khair, all of you who are on time. May Allah reward you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Jazakallah khair for waiting. For those of you who have been here on time, we were giving others a few more minutes to start, but inshallah, we will start. Welcome back to another prime time session. My name is Saima Shah, and I am your host on behalf of MCNA, which is Muslim Children of North America, and YMJ, which is Young Muslim Junior. MCNA and YMJ are under the guidance of ICNA, which is Islamic Circle of North America. We bring you a prime time session every month, and a lot of you are our frequent audience, and alhamdulillah, you come and you benefit from these prime times, so Jazakallah khair. Our goal is to please Allah and give the youth, that is all of you, knowledge and leadership skills to be successful in this world and the next, inshallah. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'een, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. So we ask Allah to show us the straight path, inshallah, that will lead us to Allah and success. And today, inshallah, our guest speaker is Sister Sadia Yunus. She is, mashallah, a marriage and family therapist. She did her master's degree from Hofstra University in New York, and she is a graduate of the Institute of Islamic Sciences, mashallah. She's experienced in working with individuals, couples, families, and groups from many ethnic backgrounds and religions. So alhamdulillah, she is going to help us understand our various emotions. And yes, she's also a mom of 3 kids, mashallah. May Allah make her kids sadqa jariyah for her and the coolness of her eyes, inshallah. She lives in Long Island. So jazakallah khair, Sister Sadia. She will be talking about how we can understand our emotions and how to deal with them so we become strong individuals, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, everyone, and Sister Sadia, the mic is yours.
Jazakallah khairan for the introduction. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope everyone can hear me well, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربنا زدنا علما. So alhamdulillah, I've been given this topic today, and it really is something that I'm very passionate about. It's something that's very important to me as a therapist. When I'm meeting with so many people, individuals, families, so many children and teens, this is a huge thing that comes up is, how do I deal with my emotions? And subhanAllah, as human beings, and I'll go into that slide as well, is, we have so many different kinds of emotions. And as I'm going through my slides, I did pick out a few, but that does not even touch the surface, like the phrase, the tip of the iceberg. There's so many different kinds of emotions that we feel. So let's go through how do we understand our emotions. And inshallah, throughout this, if you have any questions, you can feel free to type it in the questions field, and I'll try my best, inshallah, to answer them as we go through, and definitely your comments as well. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us as human beings with emotions. He is our creator. He knows exactly how He created us and in what ways. And not only did He create us as emotional beings, but He also gave us tools so we know how to deal with these emotions, right? Such as anger and happiness and sadness. So Allah says in Surah Qaf, ayah 16, which is actually my very favorite ayah in the Quran, and all of them are amazing, but this is just, it sticks out to me. And we have already created man and know what his soul whispers to him. And we are closer to him than his jugular vein. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes this beautiful closeness that He has with us, that we are His creation, we are His creatures, and He is so close to us, closer than our jugular vein, which is the vein that our lives depend on, right? So Allah created us, so He knows us. So in those times that we are feeling down, or we're feeling angry, or, we don't know, we don't understand something that happened in our lives, maybe something at school or something with our family, we can get this kind of comfort that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is close to me. And He knows exactly what's going on in my mind and what's going on in my heart. Because we know when we think of emotions, we think about feelings, right? And the source of feelings is the heart, right? And when we think of thoughts, something that I'm thinking, or thoughts that come into my head, this is all about, the mind or the brain. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He knows what the soul whispers to us. He knows what we say to ourselves. And a lot of times when we have those thoughts in our minds, they're basically thoughts that we're saying to ourselves. We may be like, oh man, why did I say that to her? Or, why did things have to be this way, or why does she have to be so mean, or whatever it is, all of these are thoughts. Allah hears them, and Allah knows exactly what we're thinking. So this can give us comfort when we're going through hard times and we're going through difficult emotions, is that Allah is my creator, He knows me, and He's so close to me. The Prophet ﷺ is a great example for us as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, so by mercy from Allah, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you were lenient with them. And if you had been rude in speech and harsh in heart, they would have disbanded from about you. So pardon them and ask forgiveness for them and consult them in the matter. And when you have decided, then rely upon Allah. Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him. So this is a description of the Prophet ﷺ, that he was not rude to people. He was very lenient with them. And how does this relate to emotions? Well, we'll learn later on that when we feel angry, or when we feel jealous, or when we feel like irritated or annoyed with somebody, we may yell, we may have an attitude, or we may say something that hurts somebody's feelings. Well, the Prophet ﷺ, he had emotions as well. He had to deal with anger and sadness, even depression, when he lost his sons, and when his own family betrayed him and turned against him. There's so many of these situations, yet he didn't allow it to control him in such a way that now he's mean or rude to people, or he takes it out on people. So this is a beautiful example for us, the Prophet ﷺ, that no matter how we feel, how angry, how irritated, how annoyed, that we try to control our reactions, right? We try to control the way that we speak, even a tone of voice, no matter how angry we are or annoyed, we try to control that tone of voice. We don't want to hurt others. Can anyone think of an example of, when the Prophet ﷺ, is an example from his life, from the seerah, where he felt something, any kind of emotion, whether it was sadness or happiness, just an example from his life? Okay, yeah, so somebody mentioned the year of depression, right? The year of sadness. Yes, and that was when he lost his wife, Khadija radiallahu anha, and he lost his beloved uncle as well. So this was subhanAllah, this was a very difficult time for the Prophet ﷺ, that he had to deal with loss. Yes, he was very sad when Khadija radiallahu anha and his uncle passed. Another example someone gave was the situation of Taif, right? And this was when the people turned against him, and he went there to preach, and he went there to call people to the deen, and they threw rocks at him. The little kids threw rocks at him, and he was bleeding. So, subhanAllah, this was these are examples of the Prophet ﷺ's life when he felt sadness, when he felt difficulty. And yes, how did he deal with those situations? Did he yell? Did he scream? Well, the beautiful example of Taif was when the angel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the angel and saying that, we can destroy these people, right? I can just crush the mountain and these people will be destroyed. And somebody with anger, right? If somebody reacted in anger that, hey, you know what? They threw rocks at me and now they're going to suffer. That they would have easily said, yeah, destroy these people because look what they did to me, right? That would be reacting in anger. That would be reacting in revenge, right? Wanting revenge. But the Prophet ﷺ, he remained calm, right? He remained patient. And he said, you know what? Maybe their descendants will believe. Maybe their children will believe. So he was forgiving, he was loving, and he was looking towards the future, right? So that's a beautiful example for us, is that when we feel angry, how do we keep ourselves calm? And the main thing was that the Prophet ﷺ kept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in mind, that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is, going to take care of things. So he had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on his side. So this ayah and many other demonstrate how the Prophet ﷺ was perfectly attuned to the emotional state of his followers, and he, didn't take things out on them, right? So how did he remain calm? One of the ways is that he kept the deen in mind, right? He kept what was more important in mind. That he thought about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he thought about the deen, he thought about the people are going to believe. If I react in anger, these people will be destroyed and they'll never have a chance to believe. But if I'm calm, I calm myself, and then I, give these people a chance, they'll believe, and maybe their kids will believe. And subhanAllah, they did. So this is a great example for us, is that when I'm angry, I have to think about what's more important. Is it more important for me to yell at my sister because I'll feel better? Or is it more important for me to be like, hey, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching me, and I do not want to get sins just because, I'm angry, and I just want to take out my anger. So it's about focusing on what's more important in the moment. And that's just one of the ways. So understanding our emotions, right? And I know maybe many of us have seen the movie Inside Out, right? I really enjoyed the movie because it really did give us a little bit of a picture about the emotions, right? Joy, anger, sadness, envy, etc. And gave us a little bit of an understanding of it. So how do we understand our emotions? What are emotions? Emotions are actually signals that tell your mind and body how to react. So it's a signal. And I love that definition because it's not just something that happens, but it's something that's telling you something. So when you feel angry or when you feel sad, it's a signal. It's saying, hey, pay attention to what's going on in your mind. Pay attention to, what's going on inside of you. So emotions, again, are referred to as feelings. They're responses to certain thoughts and events. So, you take a test at school and you find out you got a bad grade. You made a C and you studied so hard and you were hoping to get a great grade. How do you feel? It'll make you sad. It'll make you anxious about, what are your parents going to say? Or, it makes you disappointed in yourself. So feelings are responses to certain events. It can be responses to certain thoughts, too. We could think, oh, no, my mom's going to be so angry with me, right? That's a thought. So then the feeling is worry. Because we may have felt sad that we got the bad grade, but now that I said, oh, no, mom's going to be angry, now I'm worried. So feelings can come about based on what happens to us or based on what we tell ourselves as well. So there are many, like I said, many emotions. Sadness, anger, frustration, happiness, joy, jealousy, helplessness, feeling misunderstood. That's a feeling as well, that nobody understands me, and feeling overwhelmed. So how many of you have, experienced these emotions? And you can think about which one you have felt most recently, the most, right? Joy, some people are saying joy, or anger, stressed, sadness, frustration. Yeah. So, and we all feel these kinds of things, and that can help us feel better too, that you know what, I'm not alone, that everybody around me experiences these emotions as well. I'm not weird, or, there's nothing wrong with me. Even if we feel a lot of sadness, even if we feel a lot of anger, there's nothing wrong with us. We're humans, and that's a part of being human. That's actually the beauty of being human. There's no way that somebody can be happy all the time. That's impossible. Or to feel joy all the time. There's no way at all. So it's important to be okay with the emotions that we feel. One mistake that we make is that we judge our emotions, or we judge ourselves. That if we feel sad, we're like, why am I feeling sad? I shouldn't be feeling sad. This is judging ourselves, and that can actually make us feel more sad. That can make us feel worse about ourselves. So it's important that we accept our emotions. That, you know what, I feel angry, and that's okay, because you know, my friend said something really mean to me, and so I have a right to be angry, and it's okay. And that's how we first kind of work through those emotions, is that we first accept them, that I'm human and I feel these types of things. So number one is identifying our emotions, okay? And I really like this image that I found because it's about identifying the emotions. Is that when I yell, I'm feeling angry, so I need to be alone. That's an example. Another one is when I cry, I'm feeling sad and I need a hug. And this can actually help us, and it can help the people around us. It can help our friends understand us. It can help our parents understand us. That, you know, when I'm really quiet, that means I'm worried or I'm stressing about something. And so I need alone time, or I need you to come to me and ask me if everything's okay. So this can really help the people around us understand what we need. But number one, it's really about understanding ourselves. Like, what is it that we need? And how do we react? Because you know what? People react differently. Somebody may feel sad and they cry. Another person will feel sad and they yell. Another person will feel sad and they'll smile. Because guess what? You know, they don't want other people to know that they feel sad. And this can be a lot of us. You know, a lot of times we don't want other people to know. So, and I'll talk about a little bit about that later. But it's important that we understand, you know, and that we listen to what's going on in our minds. So being able to identify your feelings is the first step in knowing how to respond in a healthy way. It's very, very important that you know how you feel. So how do you feel when you feel sad? Like I said, some people cry, some people, you know, with me personally, sometimes when I feel sad, I don't want to feel sad, so then I start to think about all the things that I need to do. So I'll get stressed. Okay, so some people are saying they feel lonely and others cry. Okay, yeah, because sadness, really a lot of times it comes from loneliness. It comes from, you know, not being around people or not feeling like people understand you. So somebody said, think of good things, so I won't get sad. Yeah, that's good too. Others yell, others become quiet, right? And that's a common one, you know, that when you feel sad that you'll be quiet because you don't really want to talk to anybody. Somebody said, I feel like nobody can understand me and I can't explain why I feel this way. Being misunderstood. Try to keep yourself busy. Yeah, those are definitely different ways that we feel sad. So it's so, so important that you understand how, you know, how it is that, how you react to sadness, okay? The next one is, how do you know when you feel angry? Okay, somebody said, I yell, I want to punch something, I throw things and scream, I start stressing, I scream, I'm upset, I get frustrated, I give an attitude, I start to feel like I want to yell, I blame others, I want to be alone, I lock my door. Yeah, definitely. And these are all signs, you know, that you're feeling angry. And it's good that you understand, you know, it's subhanAllah, like you guys are just writing everything out right away, and that's great. Somebody said, I take it out on my sister, and, you know, that's difficult, right? Because now you're not only feeling angry, but now you're doing something and it's hurting somebody else. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later. Somebody said, I cry. So yes, it's very, very important. I'm so glad that everybody knows exactly how they react when you feel angry. This way, that when you start to yell, you're like, hey, you know, I'm feeling angry. And we're going to talk about how to deal with the anger. So what does happiness feel like? And how do you know when you feel happy? What do you do? What do you say? How do you react? Okay, so people laugh and they smile. They're cheerful. They play. Can't help smiling. I like that one. Laugh. play sports, feel energetic. You feel light, you jump up and down, you make others smile. SubhanAllah, we know how we react when we feel happy, huh? There's so many great ones. All of them are great. You're cheerful, you play games, you jump up and down, you become funny, you listen to the parents. Okay, great. So happiness feels good. It feels good, and we know, when we feel happy. Okay, so let's focus on that, or let's start with that at least. Happiness, okay? Happiness means you feel satisfied and you feel positive, okay? So positive is where you're upbeat and you're thinking good about things, and you usually feel energetic, creative, and sociable. Examples of situations that can cause that happiness is getting an A on a test, going on vacation with family, getting a new video game, having a good time with friends, and everybody has their own situations, that kind of can lead to that happiness, right? So we know that it's not normal to feel happy all the time, okay? Even though we would want to, and people say, hey, I want to be happy all the time. SubhanAllah, there's so many people, a lot of people that I work with that will say that. Like, I just want to be happy. But you know what? It's not normal. It's not part of being human to be happy 24/7, right? We go through waves of emotions and, ups and downs and left and rights when it comes to emotions. So it's okay that if you're not feeling happy, it's okay. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with you. So let's talk about sadness. Sadness is a normal and healthy reaction to difficult events, right? And we know from the movie Inside Out that sadness, was basically the hero of the movie. That it was a necessary part of life, And someone said, they say you can't feel happiness without knowing what sadness feels like. And you don't know what sadness feels like without happiness. Exactly, and that's part of the beauty of it, right? Is that being sad is totally normal. But it can range from being disappointed or rejected to experiencing the loss of a loved one, having your father lose his job, or changing schools, or moving to a different part of the world. So getting a bad grade, right? So there's so many different things that could happen that could lead to sadness. But it's important that we also understand that this is the reality of life, right? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us as human beings that we're going to be going through difficulties. We're going to be going through trials. We're going to be going through tests. This is part of life. Again, it's part of being human. Yeah, we're going to go through stress. So to feel sad is normal. To cry is totally normal, and it's totally okay. Whether you're a boy or you're a girl, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel sad. When we judge ourselves, when we tell ourselves, no, I shouldn't feel sad or I shouldn't cry, that's when we create even more problems. So with sadness, you may feel easily discouraged and have less energy. You may feel like you don't want to do anything. So this is basically how to recognize sadness and to understand it, is that, you just don't feel like doing the things that you used to do. And then you feel discouraged. Like, even if you try something new while you're feeling sad, or you're doing something that you're easily like, oh, I'm not doing it right, or, I can't do anything right. Or, yeah, like you'll feel like you're going to fail. So again, it's okay to feel sad, and it's a normal part of being human. That sadness can be, you can look at it as a temporary thing. That, again, there's no way that you're going to feel 100% sad every single day. That's when you know that there's something wrong and you need to get help, which is the deep depression, that people go through. That they know that if it's extremely sad and they're not feeling uplifted, or they're not feeling better after a couple of days or after a week, that they really need to get help. So it's okay to feel sad. It's a normal part. So the next one is love, right? This is a positive one. It's a strong affection, deep concern, and respect for someone else, right? And you're supporting the other person. You feel for the other person, right? You really care about what they want. You really care about what they like, what their needs are, and you respect their values and their boundaries. Love can be expressed through words or actions. And this is a whole nother topic, because for some people it's not so easy to express love. It's not so easy to show love. You know, for some people it's not so easy to give hugs. For others, it's, you know, they don't really like to receive hugs. So it's important to understand yourself, and what comes easily to you, what comes naturally to you, and then understand why. If it's difficult for you to receive hugs from your parents, for example, it's about asking yourself why. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something you need to work on with your parents. So love can be for your parents, for your siblings, for your friends. It can be for your teachers. It's a beautiful feeling. The next one is empathy, and this is another positive one. Empathy is the ability to imagine and understand how someone else feels. Okay? So it's feeling for somebody else. It's being there for somebody else. It's seeing somebody hurt and feeling hurt yourself. Seeing somebody happy and then feeling that happiness as well. So it's, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. You feel connected to another person's emotions. And this is where we all want to be. We all want to feel that empathy with our family members, with our friends, with others. Is that, what, my friend was sad today. Her cat ran away and she was really sad. And so I felt sad, So it's about feeling what the other person is feeling. And, someone asked, how do you get this feeling? Well, empathy sometimes doesn't come naturally, but it's something that we can train ourselves. We can train ourselves to feel what another person is feeling. It's important that we look at people who are going through difficulties, or we look at people who are in hardship, who have less than what we have. We even just practice it. Practice having empathy, meaning sitting with somebody and saying, oh, is everything okay? You seem down. And then listening to their story and being there for them. So it really requires being present with another person. Being there for them and trying to feel what they're going through. So these are examples. You feel sad when your friend's sad, and you're worried when your sibling gets badly hurt. Yes, definitely. Someone said compassion. So it's definitely compassion. So you feel compassion towards the other person. And I want to also say that it's very important to have that self-compassion, that you empathize with yourself. For example, if you get a bad grade, instead of looking in the mirror and saying, oh gosh, you're never going to get a good grade again, or you're never going to pass, you tell yourself, hey, it's okay. You made a mistake. You're going to study better next time, and you'll do great. So it's having that compassion with yourself as well, being self-compassionate. So the next one is fear. Fear is when you're startled by someone or something. It can be also worry, right? Worry about the future, fear about what could happen in the future. Being fearful about things. So feelings of fear can increase your alertness and help you escape from potentially harmful situations. Yes, so fear is like being scared, right? Sorry, so fear it can be good, right? It can be good. It can help you in certain situations. If there's, a dog coming at you when you're walking in the park, that fear can alert you to, hey, get to safety, right? Bullies as well, yes. We all hate bullies, and that's something that can, fear of a bully or fear of somebody can help protect you from that situation. So examples are, you're afraid of what people think of you, you're not sure how well you'll do on a test, you're scared around someone you're not comfortable being around. So these are different types of or different situations where you can feel fear. So it's important also to know, how do you react when you feel fear? So let me ask you that. Do you know how you act when you feel afraid? I know when I'm afraid, or worried, really, really worried, like, my heart will start beating really fast. So somebody says they'll jump up and scream. They're stressed out, they're nervous, they're trembling, they'll mumble, they'll be anxious. Right, so all of these things, your heart can beat really fast. You can actually, your breath can, get faster. You can take faster breaths. Someone said, I feel shaky and I don't want to do anything. My brain hurts. I shake. I get sweaty. You start to feel really hot. You turn red. I run away. I avoid eye contact. My head hurts. Yeah, subhanAllah. So all of these things are, it's good to know exactly how you feel that, oh my gosh, I'm feeling afraid. And then how do you kind of calm yourself when you feel afraid? And it's important to recognize, like, wow, I'm feeling afraid. And one good thing that you can do is to take some deep breaths. That can help you to kind of slow down your fear and to slow down your, your automatic response of your body, that your heart's beating fast and you're breathing fast. So if you take slow, deep breaths, like slow, deep breaths, that can help you, with the fear. And, the self-talk is important too, is that you talk to yourself. You tell yourself, it's okay, calm down, it's all right. Somebody said count to 10. That's great. Make dua and count to 10. Yes. So it's really about talking to yourself too, like in your mind. Say, it's okay. Everything's going to be all right. Remembering Allah, definitely. That's a beautiful thing. Read durood, yes. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Read surahs. These definitely can help you calm down. Everyone has great suggestions. Alhamdulillah. So again, fear can be it can be good, but then it can be too much because it can lead to anxiety. And that anxiety, there's also like anxiety attacks, right, that you can have, that you start to breathe really fast and your heart beats really fast. And someone said tell an adult, and yeah, that's good. So fear can be good because, you can be in a dangerous situation, so the fear is pointing you to, find safety, right? So that fear can point you to protect yourself, right? But then it can be bad if it's too much and, it leads to that anxiety. Next one is guilt. Guilt is acting against one's values or from failing to act when action might have brought about a better outcome. Guilt is like regret. It's like you feel bad about something that you did. You feel bad about, maybe hurting somebody's feelings. You feel bad about disobeying your mom. You saw your mom crying because you didn't listen, and now you feel bad about that. So this is that guilt, right? So how do you know when you feel guilt? What do you feel? How does your body react? Somebody said like cheating on a test. Yeah, I feel nervous. Someone gets sick because of you. So yeah, guilt can eat at you. It can really eat at your conscience. But it can also motivate you to make positive changes in your behavior, right? And one example of how it can motivate you and be a good thing is that, when you commit a sin, and you do something wrong and you feel bad and you say astaghfirullah and you ask Allah to forgive you and you say, oh Allah, I feel so bad. I miss my Fajr Salah. I feel so horrible. Or you turn to Allah and you say, oh Allah, I committed this sin and I feel so bad. Or I lied to my mom. Please forgive me, oh Allah. And so this guilt can be a good thing in a sense, is because it motivates you, right? It helps you to make changes in your behavior. But it can be bad if it really eats at you. And this is something that the shaitan will use. He uses this and he says, oh, you do so many bad things. What's the point of praying salah now? Or, you lied so many times. What's the point of, telling the truth now? So this is shaitan, and he'll use that guilt, and he'll try to make you be, even worse, or, go even further down in your guilt. So this is what you can't allow. It's about recognizing what comes in your mind, and if shaitan is there and negative thoughts are there, to counteract them, right, and to think positive. So these are some examples. You feel bad for upsetting your mom, or you're sorry that you hurt your friend's feelings. A little bit can be good, but too much is dangerous. And that's what I said about that, you know, yeah, like you scream at your parents and you feel bad. You say, oh my gosh, you know, that's so bad. I'm never going to do that again. And you say sorry to your parents and you move on. Or you could scream at your parents and then just be like, oh, you know, they're never going to forgive me, or they're never going to believe me anyways, and so that is negative, right? That's negative, and that can bring you down. So it's important to be positive, to bring yourself up. When you feel guilty, you say, you know what, astaghfirullah, I did do that. Now I'm going to bring myself up. I'm going to make sure that I never feel this guilty feeling again, and I'm going to try to my best. You know, I'm going to try my best. I'm not going to fight with my siblings. I'm not going to yell at my parents, and I'm going to be a better person. So this is how you can bring yourself up from feeling that guilt. The next thing is anger, okay? And that image can really describe anger gone wrong, right? Is that yelling, screaming, you feel like your head is exploding, you know, your eyes bulge out, and then you look at the people around him, right? How are they reacting? You know, they're scared, they're, you know, cowering away, they're looking away. And this is not how we want to treat the people around us, especially people that we love. So anger is a common reaction to being emotionally hurt or physically harmed, or, you know, somebody's annoying you, or, you know, your sibling is getting on your nerves, or your mom doesn't understand you, whatever it is. So, you know, you get this feeling of anger. And we described anger in the beginning, right? Is how do you know when you feel angry? Somebody said you stomp away when you're mad. So anger, when it's not handled in a constructive way, meaning a good, positive way, it can result in violence. And violence can be physical and it can be emotional, right? Like slamming a door, right? Or yelling at your mom, or screaming, you know, at your sibling. All of this is violence, you know. Sometimes we take it lightly. We say, oh, screaming's not a big deal, or rolling my eyes is not a big deal. But it is. You know, part of it is, you know, it can really hurt feelings. It can really cause problems in relationships. So if we're responding to someone in a mean way, or we're yelling, or we're being rude, or we're having an attitude, or, you know, even our tone is you know, angry. So this is not when we're handling it in the right way. And we know, what are the recommendations in the Sunnah when you feel angry? Because we know the Prophet ﷺ said, La taghdab, right, is don't get angry. He repeated himself 3 times. Because anger can really cause problems, right? So yes, you can read surahs, do wudu, drink water. You know, you can sit down. If you're standing up, you sit down. If you're sitting, you lie down, right? Exactly. You can pray salah. So what does that tell us? What does the Sunnah teach us? And this is what psychology teaches us as well, and it comes from the Sunnah, is that you basically, you say A'udhu Billah, you make dua, you splash yourself with water. All of this stuff is basically taking you away from the situation. Right. Allah makes us calm. Somebody said that. It's beautiful. So Allah is telling you how to be calm, all right? How to calm yourself. Because you know when you're having a conversation when you're angry, there's no way that that conversation is going to go well. Because psychologically what anger does is your mind doesn't work properly when you feel angry. So you're not able to think, you're not able to rationalize, you're not able to focus on what's important. You just are just so caught up in that anger. And it ends up being, you know, shaitan is right there. You know, shaitan loves anger. So he's right there telling you all kinds of things that, oh, she shouldn't have said that. And, you know, he was wrong that he did that to you, etc., etc. Instead of saying, hey, you know, let's make this relationship work. And let's, you know, be calm and let's respect our parents. So what's important is that you take a break. When you feel angry, take a break. And you can even say it to the person. Say, Mom, I'm feeling angry right now. I really just need 10 minutes, and then we can come back and talk. You know, so it's about recognizing that, hey, I feel too angry right now to talk about things. So I need to take a break. Otherwise, I'm going to yell. I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings. Something bad is going to happen. So take a break, whatever that break is. And then communicate that if you're speaking to somebody. Because a lot of times just stomping and walking away isn't great either, right? So it's about communicating. That's very, very important to say, Mom, Dad, I'm feeling really angry. I need to go calm myself. So, please just give me some time. And then you walk away, and then you're able to go and calm yourself. Do that positive self-talk again and calm yourself down. So examples can be you get angry when you're bullied, or maybe you have too much homework, or you're not getting what you want in life or in school or in home. Maybe you feel like your parents, are treating you unfairly as a sibling, or you fight with your sibling. No matter what it is, it's okay, again, to feel angry, but it's not okay to hurt anybody, whether that's physically or emotionally or in any way at all. It's okay to feel angry because a feeling isn't wrong, right? But it's not okay to hurt anybody, to treat anybody harshly. So it's important to understand your anger. So now you enter your room and you're trying to calm yourself down. Where did the anger come from? Anger, a lot of times, comes from a certain pain. So what is the feeling behind the anger? And this may be, really difficult. It takes people their whole lives to kind of understand that. But sometimes it's like, okay, I'm feeling angry. So what's the pain behind my anger? An example is that, my mom's treating me and my brother unfairly, like I'm being treated unfairly. So there's the pain, right? So it really should be sadness. It should be like, Mom, I'm sad that you're not treating me fairly. You're not treating me, the same, and that makes me sad. But as human beings, sometimes that turns into anger, right? So when you understand your anger, it can help you to calm down. Because then you do what? Then you're compassionate with yourself. And you say, you know what? It's okay. Sometimes people are treated unfairly, and it's okay. You can get through it, and things are going to get better. So it's about being compassionate with yourself and helping yourself through that. So responding to your emotions. So pick an emotion that you've dealt with in the past, whether it's sadness, anger, etc. And use these strategies. This can help you understand and respond to the emotion. And I know we went through this, but this is kind of like a summary. So number one is you look below the surface of your emotion. So you ask yourself, what am I really reacting to? Okay, so some of you chose sadness, some of you chose anger, joy. So ask yourself, what am I really reacting to? Okay, so if you're angry, what am I reacting to? Okay, maybe, my dad said something, or maybe my mom made a promise and she didn't fulfill it. So what am I really reacting to? Number two, consider whether or not the situation to which you are reacting with matter. So does that situation really matter, right? Is it worth having a fight with somebody? Is it worth yelling at somebody? So this really gets you to take a step back and kind of look at the situation. Like, is it really a huge deal? And number three, don't take action on a strong feeling until you've considered the consequences, okay? What could the consequences be? So now you're like, okay, I really feel like punching a wall. So you think, okay, what will punching a wall do? My hand's going to hurt. I'm going to get in trouble because I messed up the wall. What's going to happen? And that's just an example, right? So think about an example like based on the emotion that you picked, right? So what are the consequences? Like if you yell at somebody or you scream or you hit your sibling, what's going to be the consequences? And is that really worth it? So there are better ways to deal with your emotions, right? We talked about self-talk. Positive self-talk is telling yourself it's okay, being compassionate with yourself. What can also help is writing in a journal, right? This is for girls and boys. It can be helpful to anybody to write in a journal and say, I feel angry because my sister keeps bothering me when I'm doing my homework. Or I'm angry because I'm grounded. Whatever it is. And then you write down your emotions. That can really help you let everything out. So here are ways to handle emotions. We talked about accepting emotions, right? You think of them as positive and natural. It's a part of being human. Balance your emotions with reason. Say, okay, I do feel angry, but, it's okay. Sometimes, that's my mom. I have to respect her no matter what. Give each side of their nature, the emotional and rational, a fair hearing, right? So you don't say, oh, I shouldn't feel angry and just throw the anger away. But you accept it. You say, you know what, I do feel angry or I do feel sad and it's okay. But that's also my mom and I don't want to hurt her feelings. The next one is don't make decisions in the heat of the moment. This takes skill, right? Is that when we're feeling angry, when we're feeling sad, when we're feeling jealous, when we're feeling vengeful, that in the moment, if we make an action, we take an action, we could really regret it later because, that anger could lead to something worse. So don't take decisions in the heat of the moment. Calm yourself down first. Know the difference between a sudden impulse and snap judgments. That's kind of the same thing. It's like you have to know when you immediately feel like doing something. Treat emotions of others as they treat their own. Okay, so this is about empathy as well. Understanding another person. Managing difficult emotions. And I really like this image because people think that they can turn feelings on and off, right? And a lot of people will put on a mask or they'll just cover up their feelings. They don't want their parents to know or they don't want friends to know. They don't want anybody to know. And this is not healthy. When you try to turn off your emotions, it's not healthy at all. It's important to feel what you're feeling and allow yourself to feel them. And these two slides, because we don't have too much time, I'm just going to go through quickly. If anybody has, any questions on them, unfortunately, it's really deep stuff, and I can't go through a lot of these details. But basically, these are ways that we try to defend ourselves from emotions. And this is where things can go wrong, is that we try to protect ourselves from stressful situations, and then we don't really feel our emotions. We suppress our emotions, meaning we hold them back. We don't allow them to show. Like if we feel like crying, we really hold in our crying. This can really hurt us later on. Repression is like pushing away the feelings and saying, no, I don't feel jealous. I don't feel angry. And this can be dangerous too because it can bring that feeling back stronger later on. Rationalization is making excuses. And this can, again, same kind of thing, going through quickly, cause those issues as well. Regression, going back and doing something that we used to do a long time ago. And this can be throwing tantrums, right? Throwing tantrums is not for a 10-year-old. It's not for a 15-year-old. Throwing tantrums is for a 3-year-old, right? When we yell, we scream, we stomp our feet, we throw ourselves on the floor. So sometimes regression is when we're going back to that. We go back into our earlier state. And this isn't good. This is unhealthy. Denial is when we deny that, oh, no, I don't feel sad. And we push it away, we push it away, we push it away. Maybe we find out our best friend is moving or, our uncle is sick or something. We tell ourselves, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay. But we're not really facing what we're feeling. And then it can come back even stronger. Compensation, gift giving, and this is basically like just to feel better about ourselves. We give gifts or we try to make up for how we're feeling. Projection is we own feelings or faults to another person. That, for example, like if I feel angry, I'm like, you blame another person, right? It's blaming another person. So it's not owning up to your own feelings, right? It's saying you're selfish, and really in that moment we're actually feeling selfish. Idealization is seeing someone else as perfect. And this can take us back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being our creator and creating us imperfect. Human beings are not perfect because only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is perfect. So this is pretty much the last slide, and it's how to take positive action. And I'll end with this, inshallah. Number 1, counsel yourself, okay? And this is what I talked about over and over again, is talk to yourself in a positive way. Look in the mirror and talk to yourself. Nobody's crazy if you talk to yourself. It's a good thing that you tell yourself, you're doing a great job. I'm proud of you. And, no matter what difficulty I'm going through, I'll get through it. And this is the Quranic ayah, for indeed with hardship will be ease. Indeed with hardship will be ease. Number 2, take control of your mind. And this is not allowing shaitan to come at you. Say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, read Surah Falaq and Surah Nas, and practice positive thinking. Don't allow all those negative thoughts to overtake you. Negative thoughts will come into our minds. But we have to be able to say, no, my mom does want the best for me. Or no, my friend really does feel sorry for what she did. So it's about thinking positively about things. Number 3, remember Allah, and a lot of you mentioned that, right? To do dhikr of Allah, la ilaha illallah. I know that when I'm feeling sad, when I'm feeling down, alhamdulillah, it really does help because there's so much to be grateful for. And that's a big one, is feeling gratitude, thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, yeah, you know what, we have tough times, we feel sad, we have difficulty, but there's so much to be grateful for. Number 4, forgive and move on. Allah talks about it, those who avoid major sins and immoralities, and when they're angry, they pardon, they forgive. Number 5, follow the seerah. Prophet ﷺ, we know, and we talked about this as well, is he balanced his emotions, and he's a great role model for us, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Number 6, manage your time, because you know what? A lot of stress, especially with school, right? There's homework, there's tests, there's projects. It can pile up. Especially if we're having difficulty with a subject, we need tutoring. So definitely try to manage your time. Plan things out. Have a planner. Don't procrastinate. Don't put a project off until the night before or studying off until 3 a.m. So it's important that you, keep your stress level at bay by, managing your time properly. Number 7, always communicate honestly, that if you don't know what's going on, talk to other people, right? And if you're feeling angry, instead of just taking it out on your sister or, being rude to your mom, you can say, hey, I'm not really in a good mood today. Please just give me some space. Number 8, accept. For situations beyond our control, consider them part of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will and accept them. Develop a sense of gratitude towards Allah. The more we thank Allah for what is, the less we get upset for what is not. Okay? And a lot of times, like, seeing what other people have, or, if we're on social media, it can cause those things where we say, you know what, people have so much and I don't. But it's really important to look at what we do have, because Allah really has given us a lot. So accept your emotions. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel angry. But don't stay in that. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't say, oh, I'm just a sad person. But try to uplift yourself, right? Try to surround yourself with good friends, with people who are positive, people who remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can everybody hear? There's some people saying hello, and there's some people saying, I can't hear you. Okay, so other people can hear. Okay, alhamdulillah. So yes, so make sure that's another thing that you surround yourself with positive people, with people who are going to uplift you. It's very important who your friends are, that they're positive, and that when you feel sad, they say, it's okay, what can I do to help you? What can I do to make you feel better? And they aren't people that bring you down. Okay? So the last one is talk to someone. Okay? Talk to someone. It's very, very important to talk to someone about your emotions, and especially the difficult ones, because you're growing up, and a lot of times you don't understand what you're feeling. Sometimes you can feel so many different emotions all at once, and you feel overwhelmed. So get help if you need it. There's nothing wrong with needing help. There's nothing wrong with turning to someone, especially your parents, your teacher, maybe a guidance counselor at school, an older friend, an older cousin, or somebody who can help you understand your emotions. You can say, like, Mom, I'm feeling sad and I don't know why, or I'm feeling angry and I don't like feeling this way. So turn to someone. It's very, very important. It's not weak to feel emotional. It's not weak to turn to somebody. So, inshallah, I hope that that was helpful for all of you. And inshallah, we ask Allah to, I'll put it back on this slide because I know some of you are saying this is a great slide and maybe you can get some tips from it. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help all of us in understanding our emotions and in, being able to put aside the negative emotions to try to be more positive about life, to try to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah to help us in that, inshallah, and to accept all the good that we do and to forgive us for all the wrong that we do and to help us attain Jannah, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan, everyone. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وما علينا إلا البلاغ السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, everyone. Jazakallah khair, Sister Sadia. Jazakallah khair. So much information, such good information that is going to help us become really healthy emotionally, inshallah. And one of my favorites is being positive. And we can definitely avoid so much stress and drama by just being positive. And, of course, talking to Allah. Talking to our parents, as you said, and those people, and talking to Allah. So Jazakallah khair. I'm going to just, and inshallah, Sister Sadia, we will invite you again because alhamdulillah, everybody really enjoyed your talk, and inshallah, we would like you to come back again and talk to us more, inshallah. So I'm going to just make a few last announcements. Our MCNA and YMJ, the Young Muslim, YMJ, Young Muslim Junior, bring you a course that you can do, a class you can do, and at this time it's going to be starting, inshallah, February 19th. So an email will be sent out to you. Just listen right now, February 19th. A class will be starting for youth 10 to 14-year-olds. So 10 to 14-year-olds, it's called Inspiring Du'as from the Quran. So inshallah, you'll be getting an email about this class. It's an 8 weeks class. It's going to be every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So inshallah, all this will be sent to you in an email. There's a small fee that you can you give for this session, but inshallah the teachers are awesome. Sister Khadija Ilahi, she's done prime time for us too, and then Sister Umayma Shahid, she's also done prime time. So alhamdulillah, and she's done other classes with us. Those of you who have taken our YMJ courses, we've done Seerah, we've done Aqidah, and now we're doing Du'as from the Quran. So you'll get a detailed email about that. Another email, inshallah, or together you will get is about the companion magazine. MCNA and YMJ have a magazine that comes out twice a year. Some of you might know about it and some of you might not. So inshallah, again, we will send you more information and you can write in it, inshallah. So let me see if I can quickly show you one of the I don't know if you can see. Can you see the screen that shows the companion magazine? So this was the December issue, and then inshallah you can write for it, and all this email will be sent out to you. Our next issue is called Take a Selfie Inside and Out, and all the details will be given to you on the topics that you can write on, inshallah, and email it to us at this here mcna@icna.us. So Jazakallah khair, and I will be closing the room now, and inshallah we'll come back with another new topic, another new awesome speaker next month. So ask your moms and dads, if you don't have your personal email, to check the email and let you know what's going on. So Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.